Hi, this is Lori from LoriThayer.com, and today we're making homemade mozzarella cheese. So to make your own homemade mozzarella cheese, the first thing you want is a cheese making kit. And here you can see the one I have. I actually had this for a while. I won't even tell you how long, it's kind of sad. But we're finally getting around to making it. I have a friend coming over, and in this kit there is directions here. There is this cheese claw. There is a temperature gauge, cheese salt, and then over here I have citric acid, and it also came with these rennet tablets. Now actually mine was so old that the rennet wasn't good anymore, so I just ordered a new package on Amazon. So the first step that I've done is I popped out one of these tablets, and you just want a quarter tablet per quarter cup of water. So I cut this in half because there'll be two of us doing this, and then I cut that in a quarter, and I dissolved each of those in their own, water. One I've stirred around here, the other not yet. So just doing a little prep before my friend gets here. Got some big pans to use from this. I think we're going to do each batch individually. So the gallon of milk, I got a whole gallon of milk. You want the not ultra pasteurized milk. So I actually got Horizon Organic. My friend did some research and she said this is definitely, not ultra pasteurized. So we're going to use that one. And then this, I don't have a microwave in my house, so we're doing the water bath method to kind of cool things down and kind of for the next step after the milk is heated up. But the other preparation is, let's see, it's 1.5 teaspoons of citric acid here per 1 cup of water. So I measured out a cup and I put one in each of these for our 2 batches, and then I've added in, you can kind of see in there, the citric acid into each one. So the next step, I'm going to start heating up my milk. I'm going to pour that whole gallon into that container. I'm going to start heating it up until about 90 degrees, and then I'll check in with you and let you know what the next step is. So I heated up the milk to 90 degrees, and I am using this thermometer here to measure it. The kit came with another thermometer, but I couldn't attach it to the side, and I'd have to hold it in there. It was difficult to use, so I'm using this other one. So heat it up to 90 degrees, then you add in the rennet. Well, first when you add the milk, you add in the citric acid, stir that together well, let it heat up to the 90 degrees, then you turn the heat off, you stir in the rennet in like an up and down motion is what it says, so I kind of did this kind of thing. And then you cover it, you let it sit for 5 minutes, and then you come back and it had solidified some, and it kind of forms a solid layer on the top. So I cut through that with a knife, and now I need to heat it up again, and to, for me, actually 110 degrees. You can see I'm almost there, and it's 110 for me because I am using the water bath method next and not the microwave. I guess it's just 105 with the microwave. So it says to kind of, stir slowly, lightly, move the curds around a little bit. So afterwards, I'm gonna, after it gets to 110, I'm gonna turn the heat off and I'm gonna continue stirring. And here we're at the time. Sorry, there we go. And so I'm gonna turn the heat off, and then I'm gonna keep stirring it for 2 to 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna pour off the whey, which would be the liquid. So I'm still kind of figuring out exactly how that works. I have a colander out for one of the future steps here, but I would lose a lot of what this looks like right now, so I might have to use a strainer, a smaller colander, and then we'll come back for the next steps.
So I ended up using this metal strainer inside a colander for the cheese, and it took some work, and really a lot of that cheese kind of went through that metal strainer, but it worked out all right. So then the next step, so that whole colander of cheese is then dipped a few times into this pot of water, which is at 185 degrees. That's why the temperature thermometer is in there. And you dip it in and out a couple times, and then you you use your hands and you start mushing it around, and you're looking for it to really start to, the curds all start to gel together, and it becomes kind of smooth, and you can see you could start pulling it apart like taffy. And at that point, we move to the next step. So now you actually start pulling the cheese apart like taffy, and you're looking for it to get really smooth and shiny and, you know, really start to gel and pulled apart nicely. And this is also where you're going to add a little bit of cheese salt to improve the taste. So, you know, you're trying to add just a little bit of time and taste test it. So the lot that I created now goes into this just first larger water bath. When that was at then you form it into a ball or in there. And you put it in there for 5 minutes, and then when it's done, it goes into this ice bath, and it sits there for 15 minutes, and then you're done. And I just kind of took off the excess moisture. I wrapped it in some plastic wrap, put it in a Ziploc, and put it in the fridge to be used tonight for pizza, homemade pizza. This whole process was a whole lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So next time, why don't you give homemade cheese making a try, especially this mozzarella. It was quick and easy. I will link to the kit that I used, and if you want to give that a try, or you can find different kits online and different instructions for varieties of cheeses. So good luck on your next cheese making adventure.